Welcome to the dark side, you bunch of Yinzers. This is your host, Ultra Magnus, straight from Yinzerville. We got Coach GM Adolf Oliver Nipples, or also known as the Waterloo Court Jester. How's it going tonight, Adolf?
I'm doing well. I'm hoping to lose the Waterloo Court Jester name. How are you doing?
I'm doing quite well, but I don't know if you're going to lose it. Depends on who you play against.
Well, I was thinking about striking up some more deals with that. I either got to win the losing bracket of the Waterloo tournament, or I was thinking maybe if I sweep Sean Bell or Nathan MB or Collins this season, I could lose this name.
So you have to be at a top 3 Waterloo guy to recapture your name.
Right. So I think I play the other tier 1 teams. I think I played Sean 4 times. I played Colin 6 times. And then I played Nathan, I think, twice.
Twice, yes.
So all I got to do is sweep one of those guys, and I'm back to Adolf.
Fuck, I just put it back anyways, but that's me.
I feel like I got to earn it. I really talked myself into a hole there.
Well, it's better than me fucking trying to do something for myself and then doing it. Say, oh, I could sweep somebody. I haven't done dick all this season. All I keep doing is losing in overtime, which I've lost already 8 times this year, and I don't fucking know. I need to get Kirk McLean back.
Oh, dude, he's terrible. You
Well,
have him back.
Well, I don't want him back. You can fucking keep him.
You beat me in overtime on a down C.
A down C. It's becoming a popular thing now. Everyone's starting to use it.
The clapper down C, man. That was sweet. I loved it.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed losing that way.
Hey, put it this way. I played Segathon the other night, and basically all he did, I got up on him 1-0. I lost to him in both games in overtime. But the second game, he scored with Fedorov with a down B from center ice.
B is in Bush League?
B is in down dirty B.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, so
Bush League,
oh, it's major Bush League. So, regardless, he's talking about Fedorov, and he wanted me to get him a report of like the fastest players and the best agility ones ranked out of 6 for the next like 10 seasons.
Okay.
So I don't know what his plan is. It's probably involving something with feet. See, speed and agility involves feet.
Right.
Now I understand the correlation.
I wish him all the best.
I wish him all the best too. So we're gonna kick it off with I'm gonna keep the segments pretty much the same as I do for everybody. So basically, what is your worst NHL '95 story?
Well, hold on. Before we get into all that, I just wanted to say a couple things.
Okay, go right ahead.
So I wanted to thank you, Ultra Magnus, for creating the league and such a fantastic community. It's really awesome.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Also,
it helps with Yinzers like you.
And also, I wanted to thank Ticklebutt, because if it weren't for him, I wouldn't even be playing.
Why's that?
Like, I would literally not be in this league.
Is it because he says, would you want to join a league, and then you're like, well...
Oh my God, he kept busting my balls about it. I'm like, dude, I don't want to play. I don't want to be a part of this community. So he kept bugging me. And I didn't have a laptop. You know, I started off on the Xbox. So
that's true. You and G-Lock.
I said, dude, I don't want to be part of this. I was really into Call of Duty at the time. So I said, I kept saying no, and he literally came over to my house, busted in my house, and started setting up my Xbox and hooking me up and getting me ready to play. He said, "You're playing."
Well, I don't know if that took convincing, or it was just you're afraid of brute force.
Well, he knows how much I love playing the game, but he knows how antisocial I am too, you know.
Well, I wouldn't say you're antisocial. I think you've created the new trend with car videos. That's for sure.
No, I mean, I love myself, man. I could do anything with myself.
Well, there's a lot of things we could say that you would rather you do by yourself too.
Put me around other people, I'm a mess.
Well, you seem to be pretty fine with us in a group.
I mean, we're internet geeks.
Yeah, that's true. I took pride in that when Ticklepuss made that video of me. So
He did a good job.
he,
What did you think of that video?
I think he did a bang up job. I honestly thought he could have used a better theme. I thought he would maybe use like, I don't know, Rudy or something like that. I don't know, but he did a bang up job. I like Eddie and Michael. It sounds almost like Brokeback Mountain.
That was the love story.
Yeah, the love story of Brokeback Mountain out in Philadelphia. Hey, there's the correlation. Brokeback Mountain and Philadelphia. They tie up together quite well.
You know what? 2 nights from now, I got to meet with those chuckleheads and do this all over again.
You're gonna see. You're gonna become an ace before you know it. Maybe an ace hole, but we'll be okay.
Wolfie already threatened me not to provide any really juicy content on your show, so I have some left over for their show.
Well, put it this way: when we go to rapid fire, you're not gonna have very much left to talk about with them. So.
Oh, that's scary.
I changed rapid fire around for everybody, so even Halifax is going to be doing his later on this week. So is Nathan. They're all going to be different. So everyone's questions. There's going to be some that are the same because I can't think of fucking everything. But regardless,
This could possibly be the worst episode you do.
Oh no! I'm gonna rally you up, and you're gonna fucking give me content.
Listen, this might not even make it to Discord.
What do you mean it might not even make it to Discord?
You're gonna hate it so much you won't post it.
Oh, I'll post it. I don't care. I don't care if it's dog's breakfast. It's still gonna be posted.
All right. Well, let's just see how it goes.
Hey, put it this way. I ended up doing Dark Side of 95 with fucking with Blair when he was passed out drunk in my lap almost.
I listened to that.
That was a good one.
I listened. That was hilarious.
Well, you're going to elevate it a little bit more. Even with your responses, I think it's going to be great content.
Well, let's hope so.
It could be as dull as a fucking Dykes board. I don't care.
You do have the option to not post it, though. So that's all, it's your call.
Oh, I'm posting it. I don't care. Content is content. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad.
But what if you're someone like Nipples who posts pictures and videos of me without getting my permission first?
Well, would you be okay me posting it afterwards? I'll let you listen to it, and then you can tell me what you want.
No, I'm fine with this, but he goes and posts pictures of me from when I was like 135 pounds decrepit with bones sticking out of my body. And I look fantastic now. You know?
You know what the funny thing is? You look fantastic. You know what the funny thing is? You ever played the game Medieval?
No. Huh?
So it's basically about a prince who dies, but he's basically walking around as a skeleton. His name is called Prince Galamir.
Is that me?
That would be you if you're using that context of a skeleton or Skeletor, whatever you want.
No, I'm emaciated in the pictures he posts.
Well, you know what that's the hard thing is when you know a guy for that. When you know a guy that long in your life, you kind of expect that comes with the territory.
He is a lot more material, trust me, and I don't think he's done yet.
Hey, we're only in season 5. We have up until 2022, and then we're starting back in 1918. So we got plenty of time. I don't know how sore my fingers are going to be by then, but we'll find out.
Well, I can do that portion of the Ask Ultra Anything segment.
Oh, that's gonna be coming up at the end of this.
Okay.
So you can ask me anything. So basically, what is your worst NHL 95 story? I know it's gonna involve Ticklepuss, so give some juicy meat on him, so then you don't have to feel so bad to him posting photos.
No, this is fresh.
Oh, it's fresh.
I had 2 times in the past 2 weeks. I've had 2 different people. I've had someone quit on me in the middle of a game.
Oh, I've had that too.
So, like, I took a lead on one of them, and I'm not going to mention any names because I don't want to embarrass anybody. And they just stopped skating altogether. One was in the Q, and one was in the W.
Oh.
So I hate that. Like, don't even agree to play if you're not going to, like, finish the game, you know, and play throughout. I can't stand it. So that's my worst, by far.
Well, then I would be able to chalk mine into one of those at least because I experienced it myself a few nights ago. But the Q, I got an idea who it could be, but regardless.
It was someone you wouldn't think. It was somehow it was a little odd. I was surprised that I was like, what's going on? But it was also a Saturday night, sort of late. So maybe this person was not themselves.
I have a feeling I can probably guess it. I can tell you offline.
Okay.
I got an idea.
If you're gonna agree to play me. You know, I'm in it for the competition.
Hey, put it this way: I play the games, and sometimes, you know what? When I play you and Puss, honestly, my hands go so tight, and my breathing changes. Even my wife looks at me. She says, "You look like you're gonna pass out." I said, "I am so focused right now because these guys are like my nemesis in playing. I love playing you guys, but like for me to beat you is like, I don't know. It's like pre-ejaculating on Pamela Anderson when she's standing there, and I'm like, I don't care. I got to come on Pamela Anderson."
You're not alone, man. I'm very nervous. Any game that matters, I'm very nervous playing.
Okay, good.
And on the weekends, I tend to drink more when I'm nervous.
Well, that's maybe why the Wolf and Klein podcast might be a little bit juicier because you might be drinking.
But I care about you more than I care about them. I don't care how their podcast goes.
well, that's how come when like Klein's a hoot and Ed is a Wolfie over there with his little purrs. Haven't been showing me very much lately, so.
Well, Wolfie, we're gonna have a nice discussion. I got a lot to say about that guy.
Okay, fair enough.
Klein's he's just a grumpy. I feel like he's like a 80-year-old man. Like get that ball off my lawn, guy.
Kind of like the movie Sandlot, where you hit the ball into his yard. He's just like, get off my fucking property. I got my dog will attack your balls. One or the other, but I don't know. Ed seems to be like he seems like to be a hoot, but neither here or there.
They're both great.
Oh, they are. Like like pretty much. Me and my brother are not very close, but like I think I've gained like a good 30 brothers out of this because it's been quite fun for me, regardless of the stress.
I agree.
So, what is your best NHL '95 story?
Well, I think season 4 last season, winning the President's Trophy for the regular season. Everybody thinks I'm the regular season champ. Because at that point, I thought I was the best in the world.
You're a top 5 in my eyes, and no matter what season it is.
But I had the best record and best winning percentage, so I thought I was like the shit. And then came along Colin.
So the only way we could fix this, the only way, is we have to realign the divisions, put Sean and Colin in the same division. So it gives somebody a chance to get to the finals.
No, I mean, I have no problems with the way things are set up now. Shop one's fine too. I have no problem with the way it's perfect right now.
No, I know, and like even the way the divisions are now, a lot of people have started saying, no, it's been a lot more competitive when you have guys in your division that you play more frequently. So.
Right, I didn't realize because I wasn't paying attention to the schedule that we were playing the opposite tier 4 times instead of 2.
Yeah, so basically tier 1 and tier 2 play 6 within their own division and 4 opposite. Then you only get to play tier 3 twice, and then everybody else. No, I can't remember how the fuck I did it, but regardless, neither here or there.
It's gonna be a bloodbath.
Oh, it already is, man. I'm like fucking drenched in blood.
You're doing okay, man.
Put it this way: the games I've lost, I'm like I could kick myself into it, but then there's ones where I'm like, you know what? I could have done a lot worse. And the funny thing is, I was talking to G-Lock about this, and LHX, I've gotten all the tier 1 guys out of the way except Colin.
That's an interesting strategy.
Because with Sean, I lost both games but won in overtime. Segathon, I lost both in overtime. I split, but we both lost in overtime. Puss and I split, both in regulation. LHX beat me both twice today, which dog shit. But who else is in tier 1? Clinton, I split with him in regulation, and I got Colin left. So if I split with Colin, I think I'm like almost 500 against tier 1, and I got like 17 or 18 games. No, actually more than that. I think 20 games against tier 2, who are all beatable teams.
Nice. I mean, there's plenty of season left, man. You think you're gonna make the Brule?
I told G-Lock, if I get in as 10, I'm happy.
Oh, you should get into like a playing game or something.
Well, the play-in, it gives me at least another 2-game chance.
Right.
The luckily for me is that fucking Wolfie and McLean are both sucking hind tits this year as well. So.
Well, they're not. They don't have any courage. Those two.
they're lacking spirit. They need some liquid courage.
I'm just kidding.
So what got you into gaming?
I would say friends and family, like my siblings. I'm the youngest of 4. My older brothers, we started out with the Intellivision system. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh yeah.
We played games like Snafu. Did you ever play Snafu?
No. But I've heard of Intellivision.
It's a really cool game with really cool music. After that, we did the Atari and then the Nintendo with the Mike Tyson's Punch Out and Blade Steel and all that, and then we got into Sega Genesis with NHL. I started with 93 with the fighting. When I played my brothers, we would, if you won the game, but you lost the fight in the game, it was like a wash. The worst thing you could do is lose the game and the fight.
So you guys were doing like the Gordie Howe rule, that you needed the Gordie Howe hat trick to win.
Exactly. In 94, I don't even think, I've never played 94 until maybe once you released the ROMs a few months ago. Never played 94. I think we were kind of turned off by not having fighting. But 95 was the same way, and I think Nipples might have bought 95 first, and we started playing at his house. Probably like 7, 8, 9 years old.
Fuck.
Actually, no, 95. I was like a senior in high school. But we started like playing like in 93. We were a lot younger, but by the time 95 came out, we fell in love right away. The game was just insane. I still love it to this day. It's the best.
So knowing the factor that we could potentially be having fighting in it, would you be opposed to having just fighting and no other penalties, or stick with the other penalties and no fighting?
That's a tough one. I'm all about fighting. Like, I'm okay with fighting, but I know a lot of people in this league, they don't like the game to slow down. And I'm fine with that either. I'm fine with that also. I don't really care for anything to take longer. But yeah, if you can get the timing right, where there's fighting and reduce some of the penalties, and it's about the same amount of time it takes to play a game as it does now.
Oh, well,
I'd be all for it.
Well, I've already done my numbers on it. It's about 38% of the penalties are going to be removed. So,
yeah, so like if it's like the same amount of time it takes to play the game, I'm all for it.
Oh, it's gonna remain the same or even faster, because I'm taking out slashing, holding, interference, and I think one other penalty. So there's only gonna be like the 4 major ones. But when I ran the numbers, it seemed like 38% of the time those other penalties were called, which if we took that out, it would like basically be replaced by the fighting component. But the fighting, I can limit how much time the fight could last.
How about, do you need to implement line changes?
No.
Get the goons on there.
No.
Or do you just put the stuff on whenever you're ready?
Well, I think that might be something we could test in the queue, is putting line changes. Okay. But it's not something that like I'm ready to put in right now. But it's something I'm definitely considering at some point.
So it's up to the GM whether or not they want to draft a fighter. They still the 12-man roster, 2 goalies.
That's correct. Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So if you want to grab a goon, grab a goon.
There you go. It could be kind of funny.
Yeah, okay.
You just punch somebody around.
Right, I'll fight you. I'll fight you all night, bro.
There you go. Don't get any blood on my jersey. I gotta look good for the after shots.
I'll do the gory how I'll beat you on the ice. I'll beat you in the game. I'll beat you in the fight.
There you go. So then you can start accumulating Gordie Howe points.
Yeah, we should have a category for that.
Yeah, then we would. We would. How many times you won in your fights, and then that counts as a Gordie Howe. If you lost that game but you won the fight, you consider it a 0. But if you win the fight and the game, you get a point.
Sounds good to me, man.
Something like that. So based on everything in the league, what trends do you see that are becoming the more of the norm, and what are things that are catching people off guard?
Trends definitely mean in game.
Yeah, in-game stuff, not stuff offline where like people are like, oh, we're drafting like first round picks and trading like futures to get in there. I mean like the what's called the pump and dump or the tickle puss rappy. Or well, I would call him as he doesn't even have the common decency to give me a reach around to give before I get fucked.
I would say just overall speed. Everybody's loading up on speed, which is great because I mean I've really never had the fastest teams. I mean, Forsberg was quick, Yinzer was quick, but my defensemen were always so damn slow. Before I got bored, you know the whole deal with that. But
that was a failed experiment.
What was the second question? What surprised me?
Yeah, what is a trend that you're noticing or something that you've started noticing is catching people off guard or that you've been caught off guard by?
I can honestly say the clapper, the down C, because you do it all the time, but not a lot of other guys do it. But now I've been like noticing in exhibitions against the Highland Wolf, he's been doing middle of the ice down C slap shots. He's been attempting them a ton lately. But he's still losing. I don't know.
It's a hard move to pull off. Autobahns is probably of everybody I've played, he's probably the second person in the league that effectively executes them.
Yeah, he's a good player. I'm in his division this year.
So you're gonna get prepared for the down C's because he will use them. I've been starting to improve on my up C's.
Up C's. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, so basically I scored twice on LHX today with them, and I'm scoring from like blue line. Fucking cranking them in from the center, from the blue line going up. So, and I got 2 of them on Segathon, and he's just like, I don't know what to do. Like you can't stop it unless you manually goalie, and then you're leaving yourself vulnerable for something else.
I try to keep my defenders. I try to always have someone in the middle of the ice to like just get in the way of anything that's coming along the ice.
You've locked me down. You've locked me down anytime I've tried. I think I've gotten only 1 on you in like 10 games.
Right, and you mentioned LHX. He has this uncanny ability. I don't know. He's the only one that does it. He does this like he'll be on a breakaway and he'll get right up in front of your goalie and do like a slap shot. It's the very last second.
Yeah.
It's a wind-up slap shot. I don't know how to do that. I cannot do that. I've been playing 40 years and I don't know how to do that.
You have to press A and B B and C at the same time.
B and C at the same time.
Yeah, because it's almost like a slap pass in the same way, kind of thing.
Well, I'm gonna have to try that against the CPU, man. I don't want to.
At least that's what I think happens when you press B and C. That it looks like that. It looks like you're coming down really quickly with a slap shot. But yeah, he tried to do it to me today. He didn't get it. His move that it fucking pisses me off because of my roaming morons on defense. But he goes around the top of the circle and he cranks it with his defenseman, and it for some reason fucking catches top iron and goes right in.
Yeah, he's a hell of a player too. He does some things that like you never see before, and you know we've been playing this game forever. And plus, he does something that I don't know how he scores it all the time. He does a cross crease that higher up the ice. Like,
oh yeah, he's going from like where the face-off circle is and going across instead of along in front of the goalie.
Real high high cross creases, and I don't know how he does it. I have to get right in front of the goalie to do my cross creases.
Do you know how he does it? He's actually coming. Remember when you play 94, you would go to the boards and do the loop and then do the cross crease? He's coming from a lower angle and coming up on like an angle instead of straight across, instead of a line. He's coming up on an angle, because then the thing is if he can't get the cross crease, he can always pull it back and do like a short side shot.
Yeah, I have a lot to learn, man.
If you have a lot to learn, I have no hope in hell of ever winning. Sometimes I'm like, I'm going into the deepest bags of my realm, and it has no fucking bearing on what people are doing, because they're like, Magnus, we still stop you. It doesn't matter. So,
right.
Nonetheless, so that brings us, me and this Yinzer, to the rapid fire. So before we start it, I wanted to do this segment because it interests me from watching a few YouTube videos. What are some local slang words that are used in Pittsburgh that nowhere else in the country uses? Other than Yinzer, which we kind of alluded to, it's being you're pointing at the person.
Jagoff?
I've always liked Jagoff. I've heard it before, but nobody uses it.
Yeah, Jagoff is real big around here. Like,
you're a jerk off. You're a jerk off.
Yeah, you're a jerk off, you're a Jagoff. A lot of words we pronounce very weird. Like you say couch, I say catch. House, hat.
It's like people from fucking Boston who say, go down to the bar, go to the harbor.
Yeah, it's just a whole different, like, language.
So what's your favorite word to use other than Yinzer?
Favorite word to use?
That is like a slang word that you guys use locally. That you
like Yinzers. Jeez.
If it's too hard, we can always come back to it.
Yeah, go come back to it.
All right.
I'll think of something.
Okay, so rapid fire. So, answer them as honestly as possible. The reason why I'll sprinkle in some league stuff too, so it catches you off guard. So, I'm at least giving you a heads up for that. Your favorite sport playing as a kid?
Baseball, actually.
What position?
I played outfield.
I would say left field, right?
I played center. Actually, I played all the way through high school and college. I played center field.
Shit. Good on you. One of your guilty pleasures.
Yeah, I was a speed guy. I was like a slap hitter speed guy.
So you were kind of like a Troy Tulowitzki or something like that.
Yeah, he had decent power for a shortstop.
But he's not a dinger. He's not going to crank 40 every year.
No, I actually hit one career college home run. It was against Niagara University.
Well, that explains it. It's almost Canadian. We don't know how to play baseball.
But they were D1, so I was pretty impressed. I played NAIA, so they were like kind of like around Division 3.
Still counts. It doesn't matter how many times you strike out. If you hit one dinger, it still counts.
Right. It was one dinger. I was batting right-handed. I was a switch hitter. I was batting right-handed, and I just go late into one, man. 140 pounds late into one.
People are like, what the hell? Was it the stick or the guy that went over the fence? Nobody knows. But he's rounding the bases, so it must be him.
That's like my glory days moment.
Oh, well, my glory days, I was 6'2", 220, running a 4.35 40, and then I blew my knee out.
That sucks.
Well.
Was it like an ACL or something?
Oh, it was ACL, MCL, and PCL, all torn to shit.
Oh, my God.
But me being a Canadian, you don't get recognition to the States unless you're balling. So I was a baller, but people were like, you're Canadian. We don't care. We got plenty of other people that look exactly like you, that play exactly like you, and have the better skill than you locally, and we don't have to worry about it.
What position did you play?
I played receiver and punter.
Okay, that's an odd combo.
Yeah, it was. And then at one point I was playing outside linebacker, but then, yeah, that was okay, but it wasn't nothing special.
How'd you hurt your knee?
I was playing against my brother's team in university. Caught a pass over the middle. My quarterback, I don't know where the fuck he was throwing it, telegraphing it. Caught the pass over the middle, came down on my leg, but got hit. So my knee locked, and then the guy knocked me forward. So basically tore everything in my knee. And all here is
How long was the recovery?
6.5 months, 7 months. They're saying they're supposed to be in a year, but this was like fucking like 15 years, 20, almost 20 years ago. So
Wow. Does it still bother you when it rains outside?
everything bothers me when it rains outside. I get scared when it rains outside. I want to hold my blankie. And the bad thing is anytime I've played some of the guys in the league, it rains outside, and I always get flashbacks. I'm sitting there in the fetal position, sucking my thumb, and I try to put some tequila on it so my teeth don't hurt. But neither here or there. We're never going to get through rapid fire with this stuff. But
I'm sorry.
No worries. It's good to derail it sometimes. Your guilty pleasure.
I'm a big ice cream eater. I like ice cream. Don't tell LHX.
Ice cream, Haagen-Dazs, Ben and Jerry's.
I like Bright Swirl, the chocolate and vanilla.
Oh, okay. Mine, I like going with Haagen-Dazs, peanut butter and chocolate.
Oh, that's pretty good.
You eat it with a fork, because at least then you can break the peanut butter up.
Nice. That sounds good.
Weapon of choice.
Well, I would say in Call of Duty, I would use the AK-47. Is that what you mean, or you mean real life?
Yeah, real life. If you chose a weapon of choice,
it would have to be something with like a low recoil because I got skinny arms. I don't have a lot of.
So you would like something with like a revolver, something that only has 6 bullets because there's not much kickback.
Right. Right. I mean, I've shot a pistol a couple times, but I didn't actually fall down backwards.
For some reason, I always have it in my head. I want a 6-round revolver or a 6-round rifle with a beret on the front.
Yeah, I'm not a big hunter or anything. I don't really handle guns too much, but I don't have anything against them either.
Yeah. You got to keep people at bay somehow, even if they get close. If you had to choose 3 players from the league to go into battle with, who would they be and why? This could be
into battle with
if it was an actual war or like a street
warfare.
Oh yeah, tactical warfare or street fight or even like to fight a bunch of girls.
Yeah, that's a good one. I would say the Segathoners. Then they say they get in a lot of fights, like Blair and
Put it this way, I was there. I didn't see much fighting, if at all. I saw more feet and topless people.
No, I mean back in the day, didn't they get into brawls together?
Probably, like they're Vikings. What do you expect? All the Vikings moved from freaking Iceland and Greenland and all the Scandinavian people came over and they lived in Minnesota. So they got some kind of fighting ability in them, I guess.
And Kleiner, he's a beefy dude. Like he has 2 sides. He's either jolly or he's psycho killer.
Rabid.
So Kleiner, he has like this. I think he has like this deep down like rage.
There's one person I don't know why. I really don't, but Pink scares me. He looks jolly as well, but I think Pink has some kind of weird side to him. And living in Virginia, I don't know. Like old Civil War fucking reenactments, he's probably a part of that and probably goes fucking batshit crazy.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, he seems like a really super nice guy, but who knows? You never know.
Yeah, normally those are the ones that get you.
Yeah, the quiet, nice ones, but
yeah.
Pink's a good dude.
Yeah, he is. Your personal life deal breaker.
Personal life deal breaker. Like,
bad breath,
day-to-day,
bad language, whatever.
I would say people that force their politics on each other.
I like that.
I can't stand like Ultra Magnus. You're the best commissioner in any league ever created, but I don't give a fuck about your politics.
I don't have any.
You know, right? I mean, I don't. Yeah, I don't really.
Or at
care
least
about
none that have been brought to, at least none have been brought to life.
Right, right, and either side of the aisle too. Same story.
No, that's good. It's honest about it. I don't mind. I'd rather honesty and blunt honesty than somebody tell me to go fly a fucking kite than being like, it's okay, you're a great guy. I'm like, and then behind the thing, but he's a major fucking cocksucker. I don't like him. I'd rather him taking like I honestly think Moses, he's a great guy, but I think behind closed doors he's just like I'd rather Magnus jump off a cliff. I'd rather have no penalties.
No, he seems like a nice guy.
Oh, he's a stellar guy. So I'm never gonna say anything bad about Moses. I take that back, Moses. Sorry. Um,
Yeah, he's a good dude.
He is. Worst personal experience.
Worst personal experience. Uh, I would say almost dying in college, running from the cops.
Oh, fuck.
So like I was running. Yeah, is that too much?
No, that's good. Keep going.
So I was at a party and the cops crashed it, and everybody just, we were all underage, so everybody just took off in crazy directions. And I had one in hot pursuit of me, and I think Picklepus was at the party too, but he ran a different direction, I'm pretty sure. But so I was running. It was completely dark out. I ran behind this house, and I did like a Bobby Bonilla slide on your hip.
Oh my god.
So I slid behind this bush, and I was literally 2 inches away from a 40-foot drop down into a creek, into a creek.
Oh fuck.
And I would have died. I would have died.
Mine would probably have been. It was in college. We did some fucking stupid shit. We took our car. We would go around doing jackass stuff. The bad thing is that we took out a manhole cover and rolled it down the street. I was happening to videotaping from the bottom of the hill, and that fucking thing.
Like a residential?
Oh yeah, residential is actually near a school zone, near a pool, because we threw the lifeguard tower into the pool later on. But the fucking manhole cover was rolling down the hill. It hit something and bounced. And that fucking thing bounced right before it came to me, went over my head, hit my hood of my car, dented it pretty bad, and ended up going across the street and missed a cop car.
Holy hell, dude. You lucked out, man.
Fucking big time. The luckily thing for me is the car was dented, but it was parked parallel, and I ran into the bush. Cops came up the street. I was sitting in the bush for probably 45 minutes, an hour, and they're like, oh, there's nothing. There's some kids are fucking playing around, and I'm in there trying not to giggle. So
how old are you?
22.
Oh, it's time to grow up, Agnes. Let's grow up.
Hey, fuck off. I didn't have a childhood.
That's a kid.
It's all good. Funniest sounding word that isn't funny.
Funniest sounding word that isn't, I would say moist.
That's exactly the one I was thinking about. Kumquat would be another one.
I'll say that around my wife.
Mine is kumquat.
Okay, I got you. That's a good one.
But everyone's gonna have their own input on it.
I think moist drives a lot of people crazy.
Oh, it does. What do you collect, if anything?
Oh my god, I don't collect anything. I'm like the anti-hoarder. I want to get rid of everything.
I'm in that same boat.
My wife, she is the complete opposite. Clothes, shoes, sunglasses, purses, whatever you can get on the internet, she'll get. I have nothing. You wouldn't even know if you walk into my house. You wouldn't even know I lived here.
They're like, where is he? You're kind of like that bleep on somebody's hospital bed that comes across. Bleep. Oh, there he was. We didn't see him, but he's there.
My laptop and my Sega controller are the only evidence.
Well, it's the same thing with me. Like maybe a pad of paper that has a bunch of notes and cryptic notes, but whatever. If you had a superpower, come again?
Good job. Not to go off topic. Good job recovering all the Google sheets and everything.
My hat goes off to Caden.
He saved the day.
He downloaded the Google Sheet like 2 weeks before it crashed.
Awesome.
The only bad thing about it is that we lost all the data from season 1 and 2 because I had a backup sheet that was getting pulled into the main one. Luckily, that's where I was spending most of the day today, was downloading all the save states from season 1 and 2. Season 1, we didn't have decompressed ROM so that we can extract the stats. But I found a trick that you can still load the state and then save it with now the decompression setting put in place, that you can actually pull the stats now.
So you discovered that this happened when you were on vacation at the cabin, correct?
Yeah, I went up north for the weekend and was on it the night before, like the night that we got there. The next morning, tried to go on, everything's disabled. And they said 2 business days you'll get an answer. Well, we're working on almost 2 weeks now, and I haven't heard fucking dick all.
Knowing you, that probably ruined your whole entire freaking weekend.
Fuck, it's ruined my season.
Yeah, you're playing like shit.
Fuck, you know what? If they would have said if you were a bad investment, I'm Tyler Seguin. The most overpaid player in the league who doesn't contribute or produce. That's me. That's what I feel like this season. It's honestly too much has been going on for the last 10 days. I've checked out.
I think you need to shake up your roster.
I got it. I think it's time to trade Solani.
You need to get rid of Forsberg, Solani.
I got to get rid of Baku and trade them all to you for fucking Zoltok.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be top 10 in scoring. I tell you. Everybody forgets about Zoltok and the Bork trade.
We always talk about that. This Zoltok is. You said intentionally that you'll play him this season to see if you can outpace Yzerman.
Yes, Yzerman.
I think you will.
Zoltok will have more points than Yzerman.
I think he will. If you had a superpower, what would it be?
Superpower. I'd like to fly. I would like to be able to fly.
Mine would be self-healing.
Yeah, that's a good one. Damn.
Like, you get shot, you can heal. Like, all my bones would not hurt right now.
You'd be playing in the NFL.
No. I'd be doing other things, but yeah, maybe. I don't know. We would have to find out. But given on that, next one. Do you have a secret talent?
I would say for like performance arts, like doing like I did a real big video where I performed performing arts.
Yeah, like acting or like recitals.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, okay, okay, that's interesting.
You'll see. I'm sure Technopus is going to post it someday. You've seen bits and pieces of it.
Well, yeah, but that's still at the same time, it still catches people off guard. It's like me being a writer. People wouldn't have.
Right. Nobody in a million years would expect I would have pulled it off.
But you did.
Yeah, there's a whole like 10-minute video on it. It's hilarious.
So the next question is kind of league related. Who has the weirdest playing style in the league?
Weirdest playing style in the league.
That you're like, you could destroy them or you can't beat them, and you're just like, it's so fucking weird playing against them.
I don't really say anybody has a weird style. There's certain players that are just flat out better than me, and I can name them.
That's your discretion.
Okay, so.
Okay, I got the green light.
Okay, so Ticklepuss, right? Because he's beaten me probably over 10,000 times. But sometimes I think because every time we play, I'd be totally trashed. And he's type that plays better when he's
3 sheets to the wind.
And I'm the worst. I can't control myself. That's why, like, any live person tournament, like Segathon, High, I would probably be the worst player at these tournaments because I'm going to drink and I'm going to party.
Well, that's
But
good.
uh,
That's good. You're having fun.
Puss is he reminds me of Colin a little bit in the way that they're very very tenacious. Like they'll check the shit out of you. Like that you've played them. Like when you're done playing them, you know that you played them. You're just exhausted.
Oh yeah.
Sean Bell, I knew Sean Bell was special. Right after season one, I was getting ready for the shitty Bill, the Prospect Cup at the time, because I had the shitty Pitt team. And Sean Bell would call out X's, right? And I played him in exhibitions a couple of times. He would use, he didn't have his Thunder Bay Pike team. So he would use other people's teams and just XZ with them. The guy, the first time I played him, I told Pickle, did you play this Sean Bell guy yet? Like, this dude is sick. He capitalizes on every opportunity he gets. He just finishes, and Sean's the kind of guy who's big time players step up in big time games.
Yeah.
So he's a clutch guy too. So
I'm like Kenny Pickett. I'm like Kenny Pickett. Small hands and can't execute.
Tiny hands. He has very small hands. But his brother Nathan MB, is probably better than me too. We had a rolling 7-game series in season 2 where he took me out. And I'm starting to think the car videos are a bad idea because I feel like when I always do it for playoff games. When I'm facing an opponent in the playoffs, I'll do a car video. So, did one for Sean, he kicked my ass. I did one for Colin with the Afghan blanket over the head.
Yep.
And I think, this guy saw this video and he said, I'm going to beat the shit out of Nipples. And he did. I think they're making people mad at me. When they're playing me, they play me angry.
Well, that's the thing is maybe you should be coloring them with kindness.
Yeah, I gotta stand like a nice, respectful guy.
Yeah, being like your play style is just so snappy and so with it. I just can't understand what you do.
I'm gonna shower everybody with compliments.
Shower them with compliments. You can say to Sean Bell, you're like John Travolta in Grease. You're just so groovy and hip.
They're not gonna want to beat me. I'm gonna be so complimentary.
They're gonna be like, no, he's a nice guy. I really like him.
And one more person that I know is better than me is, and I was saying this about LHX, he has certain things that I just can't do. And he's probably better than me too. And King Raff.
There's guys in the league where I honestly think that I'm better than them, and they're top tier guys. And when I do play them, I'm like, they're like, yeah, you can hang with me. I'm like, it's like almost like an insult that they say I could hang with them. It's just like I'm surprised that it would be more the other way around, that you can hang with me. But my record shows otherwise. My playoff success shows otherwise. I'm like the Toronto Maple Leafs. I've never won a cup in 5 seasons. So it's really tricky for me to say who's a real person that busts my balls. But I would say Sean's up there, but Sean's not my top. I can hang with Sean. He beats me, but I get in my own head when I play him. Same thing with Segathon. Same thing with all the Segathon guys, all the Waterloo guys. The one guy, Colin's probably the one that's in my head the most because I really just don't know his style. But then there's you and Puss. I know I could beat LHX. It's a numbers game with me and him.
Colin has this crazy pinpoint accuracy with checks.
Yes.
He does not. I miss checks all the time, and dudes just fly right by me. He never misses a check. It's insane.
Him and Puss are probably the 2 best checking guys in the league.
Right. They're both tenacious as hell. They're constantly on you. You have no space.
Honestly, they make me feel like I'm getting bullied and getting my face put into a pile of fucking dog shit. And then they're saying, get up. And I get up, I wipe it off, and then they push you back down again. It's very, very demasculating.
I love it. It's the best.
It is. Next one.
I don't mind losing in this game. I've lost over 20,000 times.
Oh, I'm getting to the point where I'm becoming numb to lose too, but there's still some pride on the line, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you have a nickname, or were you ever given a nickname?
Yeah, Bunny. So I don't want people to start calling me Bunny on Discord.
Hey, don't worry.
Uh,
Mine was called Small Beak.
Small beak. So my father, you know, he used to call me Baby Bunny because I was the youngest,
Baby bunny,
and
hop pop, pippity boo.
he'd call me the Baby Bunny, and then he'd still do it as I'm an adult and I'm married with my wife. So he'd call me Baby Bunny in front of my wife. So she started calling me Bunny. So she'll call me Bunny now, and now Pickle Puss calls me Bunny.
Oh my God. Well, bunny, it's okay.
Yeah, Baby Bunny.
Baby bunny. Watch the YouTube video, Baby bunny, hop pop, pippity boo. There is actually a called the thing, a song for it. Who's got the
I'll
best?
check it out.
Who's got the best logo in the league?
G-Lock, by far.
I think Nate's
I love
got Nate's. I like Nate's with the Taipei.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, he's like crunching on the tree.
Yeah, that one's pretty good. Um, yeah, I put it up there. Yeah, G-Locks is probably one or two in my opinion.
G-Lock, his overlays on his string, his logo, his jerseys, and I told him this, both his home and away jerseys are so sharp.
He's been playing with them for a while.
Yeah, the new ones, this season.
Oh yeah, I know, like the light gray and the blue.
Yeah, they're so nice, and I like Colin's new ones too. I didn't play Colin yet, but I saw him like, I think like you know how sometimes when you don't press start, like two CPUs will automatically start playing.
Yeah.
And in the background, and I think one of them was Colin's, and it was like real sharp, looked good.
Did you see his home ice?
I don't remember.
It's an Afghan.
Oh no, I definitely didn't see that. I like Megathon's new Dirty Down D logo.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are starting to go a little bit more to that degree.
Yeah, I didn't know we could have a saying there. I might have a saying next year instead of my Pitt logo.
Go Yinz yourself.
Yeah, I might something. No, it's gonna be complimentary. Remember, I'm going sweet. I'm going sweetheart.
Yeah, yours would be like put a little fluffy bunny and say "fuck you," or a rabid bunny. What's your spirit animal? I don't want to say it's a bunny because obviously that was a nickname given to you.
No, I would say like anything that's like incredibly lazy, like a sloth maybe.
Okay, I would have said maybe like a sea turtle, but
no, like real slow moving. I'm not in a hurry to go anywhere. Like
so a snail.
I'm very lazy. I don't like doing household chores. I don't like doing I don't like doing anything.
Okay, fair enough. Well, you know what? You don't need to do anything, and anything in the house is yours.
Right.
There you go. Okay, it's understandable then. What is something that makes you laugh no matter what? This is not so much of a rapid fire questions anymore, but
That's a good question.
mine is people getting hurt.
Oh, really? That's not bad. People falling down. As long as they're okay, I don't like people get hurt, but
Well, that's what I like
if
watching. I watch the YouTube videos, watch them fall down, and then like it moves to the next video. I'm like, I love those.
There's a guy on YouTube that Puss and I watch. His called We're Gonna Lose, and he's into like Call of Duty and stuff. Every time I watch his stuff, it cracks me up. He's so obnoxious and annoying. He'll kill his own teammates and stuff on purpose, and he just cracks me up.
Fucking guy. What is the sexiest accent?
Geez, that's a good. I like anything Latin, I would say.
I'm in the same boat. So, even though you have a nice little Latino girl come up to, oh, papi chulo,
Yeah.
oh, papi chulo.
I like it, like a Salma Hayek.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like Latinos.
Yeah. What is your worst skill in life?
Memory. I have zero memory. I can't remember anything.
That's how come you keep messaging me. Oh, what do we have to do here? I think Wolf is probably worse. He's like, who's on my schedule? Go check the fucking Google sheet. It tells you.
I don't know. I don't know what Wolf's deal is with looking up shit. I don't know what his deal with
He
that.
spends more time on that Google sheet than McLean, and he still doesn't know what his schedule is. G-Lock's probably the swiftest person. He says, I print my schedule out so I know who.
Well, yeah, like, you know how, like, when somebody's on the Google sheets, they're on there so long their, like, logo turns, like faded.
Yeah, they've timed out.
Every time I'm on there, I see like a blue E.
Yeah, that's Ed.
For Eduardo.
Yeah, he's always there.
He's always great, like, faded out, like he's been on there forever. He's just sitting on there.
So this is more of going back to your childhood a bit. Something that you would tell yourself in '95 when you started playing the game that you should do to help you win now.
Ooh, that's a good question. It would probably all, like, breathing exercises and meditation and shit before. Like, I get crazy nervous before I play, really bad. Like, I don't know. Like, exhibitions against Wolf and stuff, I feel real comfortable. I'd be snot out of them. But even, like, playing anybody, it doesn't matter who it is. I get really, really nervous.
I would have said for myself, I'm in the same bucket. But I would say, like, to yourself, and when you're playing '95, me would be practicing manual goalie.
Yeah. Puss and I, we've always played with manual goalie.
Oh, well, that explains why I can't beat you guys.
Yeah, we've always played. I mean, like, we didn't use it as much back then as we have to now because you guys are so good. Like, you have to, like, adapt or die, you know?
Well, I think a lot more guys die than they do adapting. So it really is. Well, you kind of alluded to the next question. Favorite game other than '95? It could be on Sega, or what other platform that you've played.
Sega, it would be Greatest Heavyweights. And I would say PGA Tour, the golf games I like. Xbox, definitely Call of Duty. That's the only game I play.
Mine was Madden '09 for Xbox, the original, and Crash Bandicoot. And then on Sega, I would honestly say it's a cheesy game, but I loved it. It was Theme Park.
Okay. Yeah, I've never played that.
Basically, you build a theme park. It's like SimCity, but for parks. An amusement park.
Okay.
Stupid, I know. It's whatever. I don't care. Last thing you did that you regretted?
Last thing I did that I regretted? I don't know, maybe just drinking too
much. Mine was forgetting my wife's birthday.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And the bad thing is that I only remembered like halfway through the day, and she was giving me fucking dirty looks. I'm like, and I didn't want to ask her because I was like, something's got to be up that she hasn't said anything to me yet. And
I couldn't wait that long to give me a hard time. She wouldn't. It would be first. If I didn't say it within the first 5 minutes, I'm screwed.
Why haven't you woken me up with cunnilingus? I don't know. I really don't know. So it kind of keeps your fucking. I don't know. That might have came out of left field, but I think it's a fair question.
Yeah, that's great.
Your favorite beer?
Well, here's the thing with beer.
Or mixer.
Wine, coffee. Yeah, I don't. I have no. I'll drink any kind of beer, dude. I only buy like the Busch Light because it's cheap and I can like drink a bunch of them. At a low cost. Like, I have no. With coffee, I'll drink any kind of coffee. I'll drink any kind of wine.
So you're conscious. You're a price conscious drinker.
Yeah, like salad dressing. I'll eat any kind of Italian salad dressing. Any kind of ranch dressing. I'm not. I don't have a real sophisticated palate.
Okay, fair enough. I know that I could probably pinch your nose and pour down the horse shit down your mouth, and you'd be like, I don't know, it tastes earthy.
Yeah, like hot sauces. I'll eat any kind of hot sauce. I like hot sauce.
Okay, that's good to know. Favorite TV show and movie?
TV show, Breaking Bad. With Better Call Saul a close second. Movie, Boogie Nights.
We have a lot more in common than I thought. Mine would have been Breaking Bad or Check It Out. With Dr. Steve Brule would have been a close second, or Red Dwarf. That's pretty close in there. Gladiator's my favorite movie, but Boogie Nights is in my top 10. So.
It's so good. I love Boogie Nights. It's
yeah.
a little long. It's a little.
It doesn't matter as long as you got the touch.
Right. Yeah. You got the touch.
He's got the worst voice ever, but whatever.
It's so great. I love it.
It is. Best piece of advice you've ever given? It could be game related or it could be personally related. It doesn't matter.
I would say with the game, I would just say like don't take anything too seriously. It's just a fucking game. Like, I mean, God, we're all fucking losers in this game except Sean Bell. We're all losers.
So you know what the funny thing is? The only people that have taken serious have died, severely hurt themselves, or have gone into a complete rage.
That's funny.
You know who I'm talking about, all three of them, right?
I know Hines
died.
Hines died. Vic, like, rage quit.
Yep.
And what was the third one you said?
That hurt himself.
Hurt themselves.
Or
Halifax. Or no, it was Brandon.
No, Dinkelberg. His with his appendix.
I don't really. I'm kind of like out of the loop on that with Dinkelberg. I miss the guy though.
Yeah, same here. Goofy as fuck, but whatever.
Yeah, he was like, he didn't take things too seriously.
No. No, he didn't. Do you have a bucket list trip?
The Highland Invitational.
Mine's probably on there as well, but because I already did the Segathon. I did Segathon already.
I would like to do Segathon too, but I really want to go to the Highland Invitational. I just Post and I are trying to figure out how to strategize bringing it up to our wives. We're thinking about doing like a couples trip kind of thing.
let the wives go off and do something in Philadelphia. Go see the Liberty Bell or the street where they did Philadelphia.
We'll go to a spa. They like spa treatments and stuff like that, like getting
their hoo-has waxed and stuff.
Yeah.
There you go. What's your worst fear?
I'm not a big fan of heights. I don't really like heights.
Mine's deep water.
Well, it kind of contradicts me being able to fly with my superpower. I don't know.
Mine is because if I can't see the bottom if I can't touch the bottom or see it, I ain't going in it.
I thought you were afraid of clowns.
I fucking hate clowns, but I'm okay with them now. I hated them as a kid. I remember my 7th birthday party. It was a surprise party, and guess what showed up? A clown. I was so petrified because I had just watched it the week before, and the clown came up to me. He's like, "You want a balloon?" I punched him right in the balls and ran off to my dad.
That's funny.
I still remember that story the rest of my life.
Poor little Ultra.
Oh yeah, I got bullied when I was a kid, but now people look at me, they're like, "Do I fuck with him or not?" And I'm like, whatever.
No, I don't fuck with anybody.
You let Puss do the work.
Well, Puss, he's a gentle giant. That one, he's like.
We're all nerds, so the thing is that we're like the movie nerds.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Actually, I think I'm gonna do Photoshop and get who's the closest people related to the nerds. I'd probably be close to. I don't remember his name, but whatever. So the last question in the rapid fire: Forsberg and Yzerman or Hossa and Zoltak?
I would say Forsberg and Yzerman.
Okay, I asked this to G-Lock and saying Juno or Bure, and he goes, He's just like, he might actually get buried over 100 goals this year, but I'm like, he's like, Juno's been with my team since the beginning, so he's like, I got to go with the nautical engineer.
I don't know, man. I made the trade with Sunnyvale. Because I was so sick of not having defense, man. I couldn't stand it. All 3 seasons, man, I had the worst defenseman. My star was Brendan Wynn.
Oh, I know.
But it was so frustrating. I was like, whatever, I'll see what I can do with Ray Borg. And Joel talk, I was going to draft him the prior draft. Like, I had my eyes on him. Like, he's a 5-speed for a while, so I'm going to grab him. But Sunnyvale snagged him right before I picked him. So I ended up getting the player I wanted anyway, but I don't know, man. I have no regrets. I'm just going to keep banging.
There you go. So, bringing us to our last segment, Ask Magnus or whatever's on your mind. You take over the show.
Okay. No, I got you. I only have a few questions.
Sure.
So, how long do you think you could sustain this league? How many seasons or years or reasonably sustain this league?
When you're a junkie like me, when it comes to stats and numbers, like that's basically my job, even though I sell caskets. It's sustainable as long as nobody busts my balls enough. Like if somebody pushes, like I almost broke with Vic because
that was a hard time. Yeah.
It was because I don't like being put into a spot where I have to make a decision where I'm like, okay, do I jeopardize the league for one person, or do I jeopardize the league for everybody else because of this one person? So
that sucked because I really like Vic. I understand like the glitches and shit like it, but it fucking happens to all of us.
It does, and the thing could have been handled differently. The LHX has helped a lot with like kind of putting some kind of policy in place. And I know that like for you, you're not going to follow the policy regardless, because you push it to the man. But at the end of the day, I still think there should be some guidelines to some degree of like, hey, you know what? If this is going on, do it like this. Like Tickness, where he did with Sonoma Valley with Nui the other day, where it was a penalty shot, and he says, "Here, you take the goal."
No, I was in that whole chat.
Yeah, so it's something that like I saw what you said. Oh, that wasn't a goal. So,
well, yeah, I mean, I don't. Maybe it was a thing with '94, but I don't. If it's not going in the net, it's not going in the net with me. And I'm not trying to play some like what if game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. But that's the kind of where it gets a little trickier. At least like if it can be resolved between the two people playing, I don't give a fuck what happens.
Yeah, they seem to both be okay with it. I would have been like, Tickness, I love your charts, bro, but you know what? You're not getting that goal.
He's the passing guru. That's why the Wolf is sucking so much this year.
He's hell of a passer, and I watched a little bit of Salvo Tonic the other day against Caden.
Oh, he does the same thing.
Yeah, those '94 guys, man, they pass crazy.
Well, they have time to do it.
I don't know. I don't play '94, so I wouldn't be able.
So '94, Nips, if you wanted just to do it once, put on '94 and play it, you'd be like, this is so slow. '94 guys bitch about '95 being too fast, and '95 guys complain about '94 being too slow.
I played it one time. You'll never believe who I played it with. Remember last season, JNC?
Oh my God, yeah.
The Miami guy.
Yeah.
I'd stomp him in '95, and then he would ask me to play '96, and then he'd ask me to play '97, then he'd ask me to play '94. So I would play, and I would keep beating him. I even beat him like 3 or 4 times playing '94, and the only other thing I noticed was the wide turns, man. The turns are so damn.
Oh
wide.
Yeah. That's something I noticed. It's just the '94 is a great visually aesthetic game. Like I'd say it's slightly more aesthetic pleasing than '95. It looks crisper. And the fact that you could see the crowd more.
It was fun. I mean, I enjoyed myself. I liked playing it. I have nothing against it. It's just, I like '95 better.
Yeah. But, yeah, I'd say this is sustainable. I'd say at least another 15 years. I'm not saying 15 seasons, 15 years. I can go until I'm about 60. Matty A will be probably be in his 80s.
Will that get us to current day
So
players?
if we continue at the pace we're at right now, I know a lot of guys are saying, well, we should shift to 3 seasons a year. If we do that, we're in 99 right now. If we do a full year, that'll bring us to right before the lockout. In 5 years, we could probably get to right to present day almost.
Yeah, I would think it wouldn't take too long, but you're not gonna you're gonna give us a warning if you're done. You're gonna say, because we might need to someone might need to take it over. You're not just gonna up and leave us.
No. I ain't going nowhere. If anything, I'm gonna probably do at some point is like computer savvy people that would want to take it on. To literally like, I might get to a point where I'm not gonna do box scores anymore. But people love the box scores, so it's kind of hard for me to give that up unless there's a system where I can create it like a lot more automated. But to actually load the save states and everything else like that into Google Sheets, it's a joke. Literally, Adolf, I could probably take 5 minutes to download the states and then 30 seconds to upload them.
Sounds good, man. I like that answer. Thank you.
So I'm not planning on going anywhere anytime soon unless somebody pushes me to the limit. So that's all you fucking Yinzers out there that think you got bigger balls than me. Try it.
like Puss.
Puss will not push me. He knows better. He knows better. Me and him we've had our discussion. He knows better. There's probably 2 people out there, maybe 3, that might push me to the limit a little bit, and even that, I'm not even sure if they could. But
I know who they are. I have another podcast to go on in a couple days. I know who they are.
Those 2, not really. Not really. Honestly, McLean and Wolf have probably been more receptive to my thoughts. But I would say some of the Waterloo guys would probably be the ones that would push me a little bit more. But that would be more of like change the rules of the league in a way.
Yeah, I think we talk it through. We all get along.
Yeah, well, we're a bunch of geeks. What else is new?
That's true. That's very true. And the other thing was, what else I have? Are you ever gonna be content with your roster for more than one season?
I'm at that point right now.
Okay.
To be honest, I am. The only thing I would have to tweak is I need a better alternative defenseman, because I do think, or maybe I'm just trying to be like I'm antsy, where I'm like I'm not content with sticking with what I have. But even when I look back at my roster from the season 1, and the fucking Brokeback Mountain boys mentioned it with LHX the other day, where they're like, if you thought about my roster from season 1 to season now, it would have been Nicholas Lindstrom on defense. I would have had Dominic Hasek in net. I would have had Slaney, and whoever else I would have added normally. I would have still had Steve Sullivan. I would have had Tony Amonte still. Owen Nolan would still be on my roster. So
even with all this change, your roster now is just as good.
Well, the thing is, the reason why my roster is the way it is right now is that I always felt that I get impatient with my players who are not producing.
Same
here.
That's why I dumped Forsberg.
And the big thing is, a lot of people would ask me, they're like, well, why are you getting impatient with your players? I'm like, Solani's always producing, no matter what. If he's not on the scorecard, he's doing something else. He's getting shots, he's getting block shots, he's getting body checks, getting penalties, which I'm the most penalized team in league history. I ran the numbers, it's not even close. So for people to say, oh, get rid of penalties, I'd be fully on board, but it's a part of the game. I can remove half the penalties so they're not as frequent. But when it comes down to it, Solani's my rock, no matter what. Solani's been my favorite player since I was a kid. So I always wanted him. I always liked Lindstrom, but I never felt content that waiting 5 or 6 years for him to finally develop. Hasek was already there, but I was just like, the only way I can get better players is I would have to dump Hasek. So
Pavel Demetrius, he's taken so long to get good.
Oh, it's frustrating with players that are on your roster where you're like, I've been sitting on you for 4 seasons and you haven't got better. But we're both 2 coaches that shouldn't be fucking saying anything, because you'd see a team like Colin who takes over a dumpster fire like you did in season 1 and did something with it.
That was why I was so disappointed. Like, he beat me with that chump roster.
So you can just imagine him with a fucking banging roster. And for me, even to some degree as well, Adolf, when I really do think about it, is that I love the game so much. I grew up with it. I played thousands of games with my brother, thousands of games by myself. I've done the playthrough of the season at least 40 times. Like the actual schedule, game by game, 40 times. Not every team, but one team. I played the team throughout the season. And the thing I always like to do is I like wheeling and dealing. I like having fun with it.
Yeah, it's fun for you.
It's fun for me. It is. It is like, okay, I trade my draft picks. Who gives a shit? I got more next season. Oh, I'm not gonna have any next season. That's fine. I could trade that player and get draft picks for it.
It's fun as long as it's not Derek Sutton DMing you for Marius Tchaikovsky.
No, like Tchaikovsky's a great player, just not for my team.
And Bob Essenza.
Bob Essenza. Essenza's a great goalie. He's a Winnipeg Jet. But at the end of the day, I do not need Swiss cheese in my net.
Right. I already have 2 of them.
I got one of them. He's my only one. I got Dwayne Rollison in my fucking backup, and I'm like, do I even want to even put him in the net? And the big thing is for me, a lot of the thing when it comes down to it, Adolf, is that I always wanted Pronger. I missed out on him. I finally got him. Forsberg, I knew I was never going to get unless I had to fucking swing for the fences.
Yeah, I wanted Hosen.
There you go. I wanted Bertuzzi, but I never really thought he was ever going to be a long-term solution for me. And trading him for Iginla, I still thought Iginla was a great player, but not fitting. He would have been my Solani. I don't need another Solani.
Right.
I need Solani's speed and agility. I need a passer. Forsberg's a passer. Francis is the one. Francis is the one with the cannon. Just like, and I had a conversation with G-Lock today about it. He says, oh, Olin Nolan's on my bench. I said, I would take Nolan off your hands. Because if I had Olin Nolan back at center, it'd be season 1 all over again, but I would have Forsberg on my right wing instead.
You did well with Owen Nolan.
He holds my record, 76 goals 76 goals in a season.
Yeah, he went off.
He went off for a 65 overall. It's because he had, a lot of people want to understand, and I think a lot of people don't understand I'm going to say it right now on this Dark Side of 95, who has not really gotten all that dark. It's gotten more in depth than I ever thought it would have been. And with the one person who is shy, so it's kind of fucked up. But
I'm anti-social.
You have full control. Okay, that's fine. But the big thing is, the way I look at this is a lot of people say, what are the characteristics? What do they do in the game? Goalies, that when they say that 5 and 6s for their glove right, glove left, that has nothing to do with it. There's so little value associated with that. It's not that much of an impact on your goalie. It is puck control and agility.
I'll have to remember that because I don't know what I'm doing with goalies. I had no
Goalies, puck control and agility. Speed doesn't matter. Speed really does not matter for goalie. Your goalie could be a 0. And he would, as long as he's agile, he can move across that crease like fucking butter.
I have to remember that. Maybe I'll find a sleeper in the draft with those attributes.
So goalies, that's what it is. Everyone's all wondering, well, how do you body check and everything like that? It actually comes down to roughness. Is not even an intangible because it's associated with fighting, and since fighting's out of the game, it actually rolls over to aggression.
Okay.
And then checking is a great feature because that's still legit. Defenseman has nothing to do with offensive awareness. For them to play, they need defensive awareness and agility. Because
that's why I picked up Tayson. Tayson has a 6 defensive awareness.
Yeah, and has he got in front of your goalie at all when he plays?
I mean, I think he's doing all right. I haven't really been pissed at him yet.
Well, look at his agility. If it's 3 or 4, that's why you haven't got really pissed with him yet.
Okay.
Speed doesn't really matter on defense so much because unless you're going to be having, there's only like 4 defensemen in the league that got the speed to go and run, and the agility and the skill offensively to play offense. Otherwise, your defensemen should be staying back. Then forwards, it's speed. Speed and shot power. Shot accuracy as well. I'd say shot accuracy is more important than shot power. But I'm biased towards shot accuracy because I fucking missed open nets all the time. And you saw against that game with me where fucking Ronnie slid the puck to you on a wide open net.
Yep.
So, and then there's a lot of intangibles. I got so many guys from 94 asking me about, like, oh, what's the code in 95 to, like, does momentum help with face-offs and everything like that? There is a momentum factor in both 94 and 95. However, it doesn't matter because every team has the same settings set the same way. So there's no advantage for anybody.
That's fair.
So since everyone's got the same attributes for power play, penalty kill, offensive and defensive and home and away advantages, everybody's got the same thing. So no one's got an advantage. Where 94, if you play the original games, there is advantages. So, like, Boston has a better home ice play than they do on the road. They have a weaker penalty kill than they do offensively. So there's there's 6 characteristics for every team.
Nice.
So I'll send it out, but that's only for the original games. We could do it in our league. However, you can give somebody a handicap so you can actually make it more of a level playing field. But it's better that nobody has an advantage and you basically play the way you play. If you can't beat somebody, it's because you didn't have any extra handicap or not.
You gotta have the chops, man. You gotta have the thumb.
Well, I put it this way, I'm like a baby bunny. I don't have any teeth.
This is gonna be the baby bunny thing's gonna be a problem, isn't it?
No, I fucking embrace it. Be a baby bunny.
I gotta embrace the Waterloo Court Jester. I gotta embrace
Waterloo Court Jester you can always drop. You have to earn it back. Baby bunnies are like a lifetime thing that you've dealt with, so that ain't going anywhere time soon. And and the thing is, I know you would prefer Adolf. I'm always gonna call you Nipples.
That's fine, man. Oliver, Adolf, any of the 3 names is fine.
Yeah. So before we end, why Adolf, Oliver, Nipples?
Just a goofy, childhood, immature name, like a Pikazinha.
Mine, I went with Ultra Magnus because I was a big Transformers fan when I was a kid, and everybody loved Optimus Prime. I loved the Ultra Magnus because he was like the first sergeant or general for the, what's it called, the Destructibots, or something like the Constructicons for like the Decepticons. But Ultra Magnus was like Optimus Prime's like cousin or brother or whatever you want to call it.
That's pretty cool. I like it, man.
So that's where I came with it, with Magnus. And a lot of people they'd rather call me Mags or Magnus, which is kind of funny. And if my wife and I had kids, our first kid would have been called Magnus because she's Norwegian. So
yeah,
it would have tied in perfectly, but it didn't happen. So anything else before we sign off?
No, I appreciate you answering all my questions, man. It's good to know that you're going to be around a while.
Well, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. You might have me in Pittsburgh a few times, so who knows?
Can't wait.
All right, guys. This is Ultra Magnus with Adolf, Oliver, Nipples, Court Jester, and also a little puffy baby bunny. Have a good night.
Take care, guys.
Talk to you guys soon. Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
There you go, Adolf.